What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dosh. Come back to your girl takes. Well, it's that time, you guys. It's reaction time, and this is to The Nevers, season 1, episode 4, titled Undertaking. Now, before we jump into it, last week's episode was a doozy. A lot was going on, and then, of course, that ending, which was just such a sad situation. Of course, was losing the character Mary. I felt it was so much potential, and I really thought that she would probably be around a little bit longer, but most shows sometimes you just can't tell, who's going to be the one that, as they say, bite the dust. Um, Still wanting to know other things that were going, of course, in the episode. Like I stated, Dr. Cousins and Amalia knowing that they had a little moment, whatever, and then realizing, still wasn't sure. I think he still has his family because he goes there to visit. So I think he lives somewhere else. So he probably still has his wife and child. Seeing what's happening with them finally having the reveal of knowing that they were using a place as a decoy with the posters, and of course Amalia and Lucy showing up, and we're seeing one of what looks like to be some sort of, you think it's human, but some sort of, creature, with the fight sequence, and then other scenes like between Hugo and Nick, of course, knowing that he's, truly dealing, with, coming to terms, honestly, with sexuality, not wanting to, being there's some layers there, of course, you see the scene with Nick, with Mary, and her kind of bringing up abruptly, like, I'll always care about you. I know you'll always be there for me, and things of that nature. Then also seeing a scene where Amalia has to deal with one of the Beggar King's, henchmen walking on water. That I just still can't get over that scene. There was a really good scene there. But like I said, the part with Mary, then of course seeing Annie at the end with a lot of the touch coming to, be, with the orphanage. So it was really a good episode. But like I said, the tragedy at the end kind of made it definitely a little bit somber. But I love how we're progressing, and now I'm looking forward to us seeing what's going to happen in this episode. They're going to get to the bottom of who is behind this. Could it be Melody? I thought it could be. It could be somebody else. I'm starting to really think it could be Lavinia. We just never know. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Say the rest of my thoughts with you guys.
Where's the lady who can see the future?
I'm wondering where Amalia is too. Really, girl? Okay.
No, you fucking don't.
Really, bro? Like, really?
It's good for blowing up the enemy and for saving our lads.
They're taking the carrot, my lord.
They're mouthing the carrots. They spit it back out. We'll use the stick.
Melody didn't show at the funeral.
Can you believe the rudeness of that woman?
It'd be madness to show, and not her kind.
The papers that bothered to report on the shooting are all blaming her, and we don't know that we shouldn't be.
I think the longer we wait to find the killer, the greater the chance we never do. Mary doesn't need me crying over her corpse.
True, I can't imagine how many funerals you've been to.
None. We don't do that where I'm from. We don't have enough time and we don't have enough ground.
You know better than anyone what pain does when you don't make time for it.
All time does is run out. I was left here completely alone, with nothing but a mission I was never actually given. No orders, no objectives. They left me here and they fucked right off.
When Mary sang, you heard words. Language. Mary was telling us something and you understood it.
Oh my goodness.
Look, a couple of guys in suits approached us at a purist meeting, all right? I don't know the guy who said go, but he gave us this. Said they were burying a touch with decent folk and we should call them out.
Everyone has to keep their heads. Mary's death needs to be answered and not with another death. And it's not just about what's right. We're hated right now. Our first response cannot be hate. We'll be lined up in the streets.
They may have killed Mary exactly for that purpose. Make us do something they can rain hell on us for.
See, Annie agrees, and she's terrible.
Now, Miss Bidlow, she means well, and I know she does good work for the touched. But it doesn't make her a friend.
Exactly.
So she goes on the list with her terrible bird-watching brother.
He's the ringleader. You know, he likes birds.
Who are the fucking purists? That's not mine. You really think I'd be handing out personalised evidence? Are we done?
Oh, we're done, Swan. Across the board. Our little arrangement, my debt is done. Because I've got something over you now. I don't fucking care.
I don't care how rich you
What's
are.
happening? What's happening? I don't know what's happening.
You just confessed to the murder of Mary Brighton, and I made a wax recording of it.
Oh my God.
Fucking prototype.
Acquaintance is exhausting. I want to be your friend, Mr. Adair. I want to become your friend.
Do you think your sister did the murder then?
What do you want? A drink? Maybe? Light supper? Three Vicars does a nice eel pie. Private room.
Oh, excuse me.
Come on. Malady's man shoots the Brighton girl. Beggy King's chief enforcer goes after the widow. Someone's putting on a show.
I need more than someone.
My enemy is England. Well, that narrows it down.
I said
Thank
your
God I
killer.
came.
Your enemy, Miss Brighton, is the scum who caused this plague, the fools who call it power, and the woman who should have known what would happen to you in that park. Unless, of course, she did.
And whoa, the papers. They say I killed Mary. They call me crazy. I never did it. I only kill angels. Mostly. I liked Mary so much. She was going to be my pet and sleep on my belly.
You were going to hang up.
Well, we had a lot of plans.
Watashi o mitsukete. Venite prima che sia buio.
Aspetta, I know it. Il buio, the darkness, the
before the dark? Come before the dark.
See. Was that near the end? Again. Hauzi wega.
How'd you cop it?
It was the Rippling. Your talk of Masson's hunting, his trophies. You'd have to have been in his study to call that out. I might have missed it if I hadn't seen it twice.
Did you do this? Did you make this nightmare?
I just got left behind.
Of course you got left behind. What good are you? You a leader. You're out whoring with your girls,
My
mate.
boss told me today that we're at war.
Oh my God.
You're finished in London. Forever. Annie and I will put you on a boat and you'll stay on it until you're well and fucking gone. And you'll tell me everything you know. Everything.
I've always been your instrument. Why won't you play me?
What did she say?
She said you're not alone.
Well, I think we could all feel that...
You, Mrs. True. She said it to you. She said to everyone, all of us, to gather and protect each other because of the dark. Those aren't Mary's words, are they? That was someone else talking through her.
That's right.
Then who? Who do we need to find?
All right, you guys, this was a good episode. I will say, just get to the point of the key things that I really took from this. Of course, the beginning was seeing the funeral for Mary, and then listening to the song that they sang. And then something else happening, transpiring at the same time where it looked like some shipments coming in. First, I wasn't sure if it was something dealing with Hugo and the gentleman's, but it was like the way it was, the place that it was set up at clearly was not there. And then, of course, you see someone must have gone through one of the boxes and saw some things in there. It looks like, some sort of weapons of war. Hence, this enters Lord Masson. So, of course, we get a little bit more layers of what he's doing because of the last episode, him talking to the gentleman, in the club, just kind of setting the course of the things they have planned. Because as you all know, he takes them too kindly to the touched. He doesn't want people to feel like, individuals with this type of abilities can pretty much, I'm gonna say, basically thrive, and then kind of take over this and other. He wants to keep to have a certain, conservative form of how things are done, in regards probably to the town and just in general. So they want to kind of keep things in order, and hopefully this is his way of pretty much doing what he needs to do to make sure it stays that way. I'm wanting to know, and what capacity and when is this going to take place? But definitely a lot going on there now because Lord Mass is showing up, because some of the guys kind of bounded together, didn't want to touch anything, but he was just like, nah, it would have been nice if some people came to me as opposed to you all coming together, whatever, and all that, being kind of cowardly, whatever. No pay will be docked, whichever, as if he's really paying them really anything. But needless to say, that was a very interesting take in the midst of, in between the actual funeral of Mary. Then, of course, the purists show up and then try to degrade the whole day, whatever Nick wanted to, but they kind of, cops showed up, whatever, and dealt with them. Now, I did notice how, of course, Annie, getting acquainted with Dr. Cousins, of course, Penn is showing up, and then just trying to figure out what to do because, of course, Amalia was never at the funeral. She chose to go to a bar and get pissy drunk. She can tell she's really not interested in being, crying over this, whatever. She wants to just stay focused and figure out who was behind this. Granted, we know the gentleman whose, weapon attached to his arm, whatever, from when we first saw him, the first episode was working with Melody. But of course, she's nowhere to be found. Of course, in the newspapers, it looked like they're looking for Melody. They're blaming her. So at first, of course, you see she's scarce. I like how everyone's kind of trying to figure out who they think could possibly had enough, sway to get the guy out. And only certain people could probably have enough pull. So they had a list of names or whatever. And I will tell you one name I was glad that was on there was Lavinia. And I like what Dr. Cousin said about that. Yeah, he says he came here, stay with somebody, trying to go to school, whatever, coming from Jamaica, whatever, and all that. He says, after dealing with it or enduring some, he said, I would have rather swim all the way back to my homeland. He says, don't let an individual fool you with, masking it, whichever. Basically putting on a facade, but still can have an agenda. Who does that sound like? So I was happy. It's like, don't, oh, she gave us all this. No. That's always just to kind of do, as I say, a smoke screen. There's a lot more going on with her, and I really hope they see it very soon because we don't have that many episodes left. So just knowing that, each individual had a, kind of a place to go. I know with, Penn, she went to go see Augustus, and I love their scene. Of course, she's trying to catch a, aha moment where she thinks that he has something to do with Mary getting killed, whatever, and she has some little prototype which malfunctioned, which was cute. But and then I like how she was blatantly asking, do you think it has something to do with that? And I really did. I was just like, I do. Just like that he wants to be her friend. He admitted, he's like, because at first the communication was kind of off a little bit. Thought that was really cute, whichever. And he kind of finally got her to realize, no, I'm talking about the day you came over. Nothing to do with anything with Mary. He gave a nice little beautiful flower like wreath, but it was not him. Nothing to do with that. So I feel like, the little friendship's going to, blossom, whatever. But I like that he at least admitted his sister has some variants. She needs to watch that because I just feel like Lavinia again smiles in your face and doing stuff behind your back. It's like just playing both sides, so to speak. I like how you see at first Annie meets a particular individual, which I thought was really a good scene, with this gentleman named Nibble. Thought it was a really interesting name, and I loved his abilities. Was totally different, and just saying, "Oh no, Beggar can't nothing to do with it," and all that, and kind of hence, working alongside whatever or some of the people. Yeah, he did not have nothing to do with this. He was trying to go for Molly, which we know that part, but when it came to Mary, I don't think he had any interest in her whatsoever. So that part was, really, really good. And I like how he jotted away on whatever it looks like some silver little, saucer beams. I just don't know what to call them, but I just like the way he somewhat sashayed away on those things up an actual side of a building. After talking to Annie, that was a cool scene. I liked where Nick got a little bit of kahunas to deal with Hugo, because pretty much the whole situation with him using the situation that happened with him, and then what the fallout was with Mary, and the situation with his sexuality, whichever you want to just pretty much say it. He probably feels like he has a little one up on Hugo now, because at first he thinks he gets a card stating whatever and feeling he might have had some play in that someone is trying to set up and trying to get somebody off of their path. I keep saying that could possibly be, Lavinia. I could be someone else. It's a possibility, but I wonder the whole point of sending that note, trying to, like the father. But it's like, it's not just Nick going to be investigating. There's other people. Amalia wants to investigate, Penis, just so they can get truly to the bottom of this. And I like that Annie is attached to it, so it's like an extra set of eyes and ears and just everything, which helps, I think, a lot. And she whispers enough to some people around the town, whatever, and all that. Miles get to blazing, somebody's going to let it slip. And I really feel like Desiree should have been when Amalia went to see Lord Masson, just to kind of do like a let's just, play, cards, she's Mary, he, might be the killer, whatever, and all that. Just playing off an episode of, what would I do in the situation, if it was you, whatever, and all that. And I like how she was just like engulfed with what he was saying, whatever, but he was speaking his truth about how he feels. Oh, this isn't this, I don't want you thinking this was, something that's supposed to be great with another. You're just victims, nothing more. And just like, no, I don't really think they feel like they're victims anymore. They come to embrace, a lot of them have embraced what they have. Some probably still are shielding it, whatever. No, it was 3 years later. So, yeah, I really want to find out who is inside that basement. I think it's his daughter. And I would love for it to be exposed, because it's like, I feel like the hypocrisy with him is just really something else. I'm like, I don't care. It's not no damn dogs down there. I'm just not buying that. So that whole scene, and she was just like, okay. But then knowing about the weapons, and let's just get to that part, because I did not see that part coming with that little bit of a reveal with Lucy. And I'm just like, after last week's episode, knowing what she went through, where Pennis told us how, her touch came on suddenly. Of course, she's holding her baby, and having this thing where she can crack things, whatever, on her baby's, but just so sad. And then to know that she let it rip when they're going through the box. She's like opening up Lucy, and Lucy's just sitting there. And at first I wasn't sure, like, why she's just sitting there. She's asking to open the box, and there's nothing in her rocks. Like, oh, I thought I was here. You know a lot more than you said, and I'm like, you gave enough of going out there, opening your mouth, that man was able to maneuver his stuff out of there, so it's not even in there, so he can move all his weapons out and just throw some decoy stuff inside the boxes. So now it's like, where are they? We know Lord Manson has them, whichever. He's not aware, if Amalia and them knows, and might know that he's up to something, but now that he has that phone in his home, he has, intel where people are trying to keep him abreast when he's not probably in the city, and they probably burn down the warehouse, whatever, and all that. It's like, yeah, they're onto you a little bit, buddy. Even though you were able to get your stuff out of this, nobody can see it. They're going to figure it out, or they're going to find out somebody who works with him inside that little club. And I hope they use Desiree in this instance to lure and figure out where he's keeping them and when is he planning to use them. But that scene with Amalia and Lucy with their fight, I felt so bad, because out of all the people, that's why Amalia is not very close to so many people that she can trust, that she thought she could trust Lucy. And now the only person you can really see that she trusts is Pennis now. And it's just really unfortunate, because didn't see that coming. But the part where she could have got away, but she went back for the brooch that, Pennis actually made for her. And it was just like, they sent her on her way. She didn't kill her. That was courtesy of Amalia, being true to Penance and like, I won't hurt anyone or whatever, but she's not to come back. So we only have a couple episodes. I want to see she might try that, but I'm hoping she does not. I was really hoping her character will be on a lot longer, but like I said before, people, might get killed. Some people get, move on, whatever. So that's going to be really, really, really interesting. But the scene that really got to me was the fact that during the song, when Mary was singing, you see all the smiles and the people feeling so touched with the song. But one particular person, it was Myrtle, who was very emotional and she was crying. Excuse me, guys. I don't know, Suchi. And at first I didn't think of it, but she definitely became very emotional because you see the part with I want to say was it Primrose was actually moving some stuff around, hears her and sees her crying, whatever, and she shows her some pictures, and then you see from there where she's trying to explain to her the song. It's just, it's something to it. She says, Mary's trying to say something, whatever, and I understood what she was saying, but she needs help because, of course, you all know she speaks other little languages, so they have to call around to get a lot of different people in the room so she could say it, in this, whichever language, so someone could grasp it. And sure enough, one of the gentlemen in there caught it, and then they had Harriet, another character on the show, started to write it down. That scene at the end where they come in, Harriet, Myrtle, and Primrose, and I think Harriet's the one that reads it off. And let's just say the emotion from the words that have been saying, it causes Amalia to become very emotional. And when she's reading it, the girl's like, is this, is this about you? She's like, no, this is about someone else. She's like, and then who it is. And because she starts talking about some stripes and this, and you're in darkness right now, but you'll see, you'll be able to see like the light, you'll see it. And I'm just like, towards the end, you just see Amalia just looking. I don't think she was looking probably at Harriet or Myrtle, whichever, but we don't know who it was, and she never tells us. And I was just like, I really want her to spit it out, but she did not. But I love that Amalia had a little bit of emotion because she's just been keeping it in, and anytime she tries to go, she kind of catches herself, whatever, and all, kind of clears her throat, whatever. But this time the tears just started to flow, so hopefully they might show a little bit of a flashback of them reading it, and then her having a flashback of whomever this was in reference to. But yeah, knowing that Amalia didn't go to the funeral, she's like, I can't, cry tears, for Mary like that. I have to do something, whatever, and all that. She just can't seem to let her be. So that's why I feel like there's so much about Amalia, like so many layers to her that we just truly, of course, don't know. And her from not being from there, not knowing the area. We need to know more about her, and I need to know more. So I'm really hoping the next couple episodes we get a little bit more, maybe a flashback or two. If the show does well, we'll see season 2 where we get a little bit more on about her. That would be nice. But in the end, really good episode. We're getting down to the wire. I will say this: Melody was captured by Nick. She showed up trying to clear her name. So we'll see. He was able to grab her. She's locked up, and we'll see what happens, because now if anything does go down, they can't blame her for it. She is locked up behind bars, and that will be truly her alibi to get her out of there. So we'll see. They might keep her locked up for a little bit, or something might happen where some bomb or something comes through and she gets knocks off a wall. She might be able to escape. We don't know. Or somebody might try to get her out of there. We'll have to see how that works. Or who knows? Maybe that other doctor might end up getting whiff of her, but that'll be interesting if they do that to her. But that's just me thinking, and long term. So anywho, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you think. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next reaction. You guys take care.